How big is Rafferty?
Pretty big. I say about like this big. So if Blake were to lay down, it would probably be his legs up to his waist.
What sound does he make?
You can do that sort of like this. Yeah. So yeah, Mrs. Thornton is funny and very active. And she's very, very funny. And
What's your principal like?
she's amazing.
Hi, today we're at Southbridge School. We're going to speak to Principal Whaea T and a couple of the students to learn about their school. Hi Tamara, can you tell us about your school size, your class sizes and the number of teachers here?
Sure. So we're in term 3 and we have just increased our roll number to 152 students. We started with a few less than that and new entrants have come in as the years progress, which has enabled us to open another class this term due to roll growth. So we start with our new entrants class, which is called Community 7, and they have a blissful 7 students in there at the moment, which is amazing. It's fantastic for those kids. They get a really strong start and foundation in their new entrant class. It moves up into our Year 1 class, which has 19 students. Year 2 has 23. A Year 3 class goes up to 29 students. And then in our Year 4-5 classes we have about 25, 26 kids in there, up to 26 students in our Year 6 class. So yeah, pretty good numbers. We're really happy with those numbers and the size of our beautiful buildings and classes. They're very spacious. One of our main junior school blocks over there is 150 years old next year. So yeah, lots of space for our kids to enjoy when they're in the classroom.
And is it a modern learning environment? How many teachers per classroom?
It's what we like to call a flexible learning environment. So we try to tailor the learning and the class environment to what best meets the needs of our students. So we're really lucky we have the ability to make changes when and if needed, depending on the needs of those kids. So in our junior blocks, they currently are working in teams of 2. So the new entrant teacher with a Year 1 teacher. And we have 2 classrooms that open up to each other and we have a breakout space in between that they share. Same with the Year 3 and 4 class, Year 2 and 3 class, teams of 2 and a breakout space. They also have a beautiful big outdoor deck covered area which we use as an outdoor classroom for all of our junior kids to enjoy. Over here in our middle school block, Year 4 and 5 classes, they have the ability to open up and they have trialled different ways of working, and they've found that due to the numbers and the dynamics of the children that they're actually working in just one teacher to one class of about 25 students, and that's working best for those kids. And so yeah, that's something we're really proud of, that we make decisions based on the needs of our kids, what works for that particular year group and that teacher, and try to model what we deem as flexible learning and using the space to best meet the needs.
Yeah. So you used to be a mentor for modern learning. Can you explain in your own words it's more about teaching the kids to be creative rather than learning facts and that sort of thing? Yeah,
absolutely. I guess there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of questions around what is modern learning, but at the base it's about effective teaching and learning. It's about good pedagogy, good practice in the classroom. So that hasn't changed and will never change. Good teachers in any space will be a good teacher. Put them in a single cell classroom or an open environment working with others, they'll still hopefully be a really good practitioner. I guess the biggest change for our teachers with the changes that have been happening in education is working collaboratively with other people. So no longer your own one teacher per one class. I think the benefits of that are huge. You get to, the power of 2. You've got 2 people thinking, problem solving, 2 different strengths, 2 teachers that kids can relate to, so you can build relationships to 2 different adults. Well, 2 in our case. Other schools might be working in 3 or 4, who knows, but there's a lot of benefits for that. Digital technologies has dramatically changed the landscape of the class. As you were mentioning, it's no longer about teachers holding all the knowledge and imparting knowledge on kids and filling them up with information or getting them to memorise facts and figures and those sorts of things, because the reality is kids can access information anywhere, anytime, as soon as they pick up a device. So, we will never know more than Google knows. And so it's not about the teacher saying, we know the information and we're going to teach you the information. It's a shift away from knowledge and a shift towards building and growing and developing skills with our kids. So we're trying to develop kids that are creative, innovative, problem solvers, critical thinkers, collaborate well with others, and those skills will enable them to be able to find information, analyse it, research effectively, pick up the right tool at the right time, whether it's picking up a pen or picking up an iPad. They're the sorts of decisions that children are going to need to be able to make independently, and they're the sorts of skills that will serve them well in the workforce later on in life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the values and vision for the school?
We have 5 core values at our school, and we're really proud of the fact that we have a strong relationship with mana whenua. We're the closest school to Taumotu in Ngāti Moki Marae, and so to give mana to our mana whenua and to Ngāi Tahu, our values are based on their values. So our 5 core values are mana, manaakitanga, kaitiakitanga, whanaungatanga and aroha. And so that underpins everything we do at Southbridge. Our behaviour management is based on our values, so we're out giving out Court Being Good tickets that are all based on our values. When we see our children upholding our values, we acknowledge what they're doing and how it links to our values, and they're rewarded for that positive behaviour. Our celebration assemblies, our kōrero around school, from the teachers to our students, are focused strongly on our values, and so it's a really important part of who we are, and we're constantly referring back to what makes us Southbridge School and where can we see our values in action, and our students are striving to uphold our values while they're in our school.
Great. So what's an example of a student showcasing mana?
So mana is based around determination and effort and hard work, and so mana for us is mana in their work and mana in themselves. So when we see students working really hard and improving their academic progress, that would be an example of mana. Kaitiakitanga, guardianship and protection. If we saw students around our school walking over into the playground, they see a piece of rubbish, they might pick that up and go and put that in the bin. So that's kaitiakitanga in action. Whanaungatanga is about relationships and collaboration and working with others. So when they're in a team and they're taking turns or they're being respectful of other team members, that's whanaungatanga in action. Aroha is about kindness and caring. So again, if our kids are demonstrating those core values of showing aroha to others, we reward and acknowledge that behaviour. And manaakitanga, we hold mihi whakatau to welcome all our manuhiri, all our guests into the school. So that's one of the ways we as a school show manaakitanga to our community and our guests, and we welcome them into our school properly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's your favourite thing about Southbridge?
One of the things that drew me to Southbridge that is quite unique and special and different to other schools I've worked in the past is their program called SOUL, which stands for Seeds of Learning, and that's embedded into the curriculum here and part of the strategic plan at Southbridge School. And SOUL is about developing the unique nature of what we are as a rural school. It's looking out for our environment, it's looking after nature and what the beautiful extensive grounds that we have here, making the most of them. So some of the projects that have evolved out of SOUL, and this is driven by our students as in part of school time, it's part of our curriculum, so it's all done during school time, are things like we have a walnut grove. We have extensive school gardens here. We have a fruit orchard being planted this year. We have a school kuni pig graffiti, and we have a whole lot of chickens down the back as well, which produce eggs. So all of those things our students are learning about, the importance of caring for animals and feeding plants and pruning, and we have a compost heap and a worm farm, those sorts of things. It's all about them managing and caring for those things on site at school, in order to produce things that we can utilise as well. So all of the fruit that we grow, all of the walnuts that we collect, all the eggs that the chickens lay, we get all of our produce together and we sell that back to our community and to other people. The money that comes in from that goes back into the SOL program, so it helps us to develop new initiatives within the SOL program. And the students also, if there's any extra money on top of that, they look at ways they can spend it to improve our environment. So some of the new projects that we're looking to integrate into as a result of the finances we've collected from SOL are a BMX track around one of our big fields, and a big scooter ramp. The kids want to concrete a hill to make a wee half pipe. So you can see as a direct result, our kids are learning about the value of using the land and the resources and protecting those, but also how to run a sort of small business and be quite entrepreneurial in terms of getting things in, growing them, selling them, and then using that money to benefit the school. So I'm a huge fan of that. I think it's authentic, meaningful learning for our kids. They're hands-on, they're out in the fields, in the paddocks, they're hard at work. It links really closely to being in a rural community. A lot of our kids come from the farms. It's just really natural and normal for them, and it's just really enjoyable, really fun for our kids to get involved in this whole program.
Nice. Would you say that would be a point of difference for Southbridge School?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I know a lot of schools are going towards that sort of sustainability model. You know, a lot of schools have gardens, a lot of schools get to enjoy that type of learning, I guess. I just think that our grounds are what makes us really unique. We have phenomenal grounds here, really extensive, and so we have the ability to continue to build in it. As I said, we're looking at potentially planting in a crop and harvesting a crop, which could possibly bring in quite a decent income to the school. We also have thoughts of getting in some stock, some cattle or sheep, and using our grounds that way. So, you know, the grounds enable us to be quite innovative and creative in terms of thinking about what we can actually have here on site. And that's really important, to have it here on site. We could go out to the local farmers, they would welcome us onto their farms, and we could do a lot of learning there as well. And we do take those opportunities when we can. But nothing beats having a kuni pig right outside your classroom door. You know, our pig was raised in the classroom by the kids.
Yeah.
Nothing beats that, and nothing beats the kids being able to walk out and pick those berries off the tree and bag them all up and talk about how much they're going to sell it for, and then stand at the front gate and sell it that afternoon. So, yeah, it's something that is really unique to us, and something that makes us special.
Thanks, Tamara, for sharing everything with us today, and we wish you well with your new school.
Thank you. Appreciate it.